And now joining us to talk about all of it, we bring in 94 WIP's Eagles reporter and Eagles Insider of the Year, Eliot Shorr-Parks, joins us now. What's up, Eliot?
Man, I mean, I feel like I don't even need to ask, but Hugh,
yes.
I mean, come on, that's a banger right there, right?
No, that's
like
the one.
I mean, I know you were loving that one.
I know this one. It's because I remember it's the meme every time the 1st of May he's always on.
Exactly right.
I knew that one.
JT?
That's always Justin Timberlake. Yeah.
Nice.
Well, it's in sync, but yeah, it is Justin Timberlake.
Wait a minute, he's a part of Justin Timberlake is part of NSYNC, right?
Yep. Right. I'm just saying it's a NSYNC song.
My bad.
Yeah, just to give him. I don't want you to be out in the street saying the wrong name and get embarrassed.
Justin Timberlake, Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, exactly.
He from Memphis. That's how I know Justin.
Eliot, I got to ask you the big question. Back in the day, we're around the same age, but what was your favorite, NSYNC or Backstreet Boys? Which one did you gravitate to more?
Well, it's hard to answer this shortly, but I guess I would say I was team NSYNC, but I think now Backstreet Boys have aged better.
Way better.
Yeah.
You know what, Eliot? I just remembered the last time you was here, your wedding song. The lyrics are
a little risque.
Well, they're different. The lyrics are like I listen to the lyrics. Yeah, it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on with that.
Yeah, it's a party song. I like to have fun with the words.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's get back to some Eagles.
There you go. Eliot Shorr-Parks, sponsored by Cozy Jewelers. Step up to the fifth C. That's color, cut, clarity, carrot, and cozy. And Eliot, big news of the day: Dallas Goedert coming back to the Eagles.
Yeah.
Restructured deal. First off, just your thoughts on how big this is for the team to be able to get this done.
Yeah, I think it's a massive win for the Eagles. It's a win for Dallas Goedert. The money, Field Yates of ESPN is reporting he gets $10 million. He was due 14. So look, $4 million less. I'm not going to completely dismiss that, but there were times this offseason where I thought he was maybe going to lose way more than that. So the fact that he ends up with $10 million, he gets to stay in Philadelphia. He doesn't have to uproot his life, go to another team, learn a new playbook. So I think it's a win for him as well. But I would say my main takeaway from this is I feel like so much of this offseason, we've talked about all the moves they've made. The year 2026 is talked about a lot, right? Like, here's why they traded Chauncey, because they have to sign guys in 2026. Like, Jahad Campbell might be injured to start the year, but, this is about the future. Dallas Goedert, to me, is the first move this offseason that is strictly about 2025 and making sure they're good this year. So I think it's a move fans should be really excited about.
So this is a straight pay cut. There was no signing bonus involved. Well, I know that the details are still coming out about this.
Yeah.
So is that what it feels like, Eliot? Is it more of a
I think
just a straight pay cut?
Yeah, he took a pay cut. Now, again, the $10 million so he was originally due $14 million in cash this year.
Uh-huh.
So now, according to Field Yates, he's going to get $10 million plus potentially another $1 million in incentives. So, again, I'm not in a position to dismiss $4 million, but that is a decent portion of what he was supposed to get. But, Josh Sweat comes up a lot when people talk about this because Josh Sweat did something similar last year. He ended up cashing in big time this offseason. I view it a little differently. Like, Josh Sweat got to be the number one edge rusher on the defense. Dallas Goedert is going to start at tight end, but he is going to be probably the fifth option on offense when you consider AJ, Devontae, Saquon, and then let's be honest, Jalen Hurts runs the ball quite a bit. So I think Goedert, maybe he has that big year and maybe he cashes in next offseason, but I think this is more of a true pay cut, whereas Josh Sweat, I think, did have the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, thinking like, okay, I could actually cash in here.
Now, Eliot, one of the things Jeffrey Lurie talked about when he was on with the morning show on BG Day was the culture of the organization and people wanting to be here, wanting to play here. Let's assume Dallas Goedert may have had the option to get released, go somewhere else. What does it say about the Eagles culture that he's willing to take a pay cut and come back here and try to run it back, even when, like you said, he's the fifth option? If he could have gone somewhere else, been a second, third option, what does that say about the culture here?
Yeah, so, I think Dallas wanted to stay here. I think that was always his first option. And I do think if, he was playing for, I don't know, the Carolina Panthers, like maybe he is more open to moving elsewhere. But I would also maybe frame it a little differently than you did. I don't think this is him willing to take a pay cut or this is him like taking less money to stay with the Eagles. My guess is the $10 million he got from the Eagles is probably what other teams are willing to pay him. And the Eagles essentially decided to match it. Like maybe there's a slight financial difference. Maybe, who knows, like just to pick a team like the Colts are willing to give him $11 million instead of 10. But I think this is not like him willingly taking a pay cut because he loves it so much here. I think this is Goedert went out into the open market, didn't find the money he wanted, and this is the best deal he could get, and it also happens to be with the Eagles.
Yeah, fair enough. Now, Elliot, the other big news in the NFC East in the last 24 hours, Cowboys trade for George Pickens from the Steelers. What do you think about that move, and how worried should Eagles fans be about the Cowboys landing George Pickens?
So I think George Pickens is a great wide receiver. I think it's he poses matchup problems. He makes big plays down the field. Like, I really like the trade for the Cowboys. The only negative I would say from Dallas's perspective, and thus a positive for the Eagles, is that whole Dallas situation seems very combustible right now. Micah Parsons wants a new contract. George Pickens wants a new contract. Dak Prescott's coming off an injury. They have a rookie head coach who they promoted from within. Like, I think that whole situation is not great. And so to add someone in George Pickens, who, let's be honest, the Steelers clearly wanted out of the building if they traded him for what they did, you just wonder from a culture perspective how all that's going to work together. So I think as a player, like, yeah, he'll cause problems for the Eagles when the ball is snapped. But I think more of the potential issue for the Cowboys would be like Monday through Saturday, and how do things work out in that locker room.
Yeah, and when you look at the Eagles secondary situation now, Elliot, when you look at the corner on the other side of Quinyon Mitchell, obviously that's the guy who's likely to be guarding George Pickens in a matchup with the Cowboys. Who do you think's likely to be in that role, and do you think there's a possibility Cooper DeJean gets bumped outside?
I don't. I think Cooper, I guess it depends on the defensive package they're playing. If there's only two cornerbacks on the field, I think Cooper and Quinyon will be those two corners. But I think when they play three, which, let's be honest, is going to be the vast majority of times, you'll see Cooper on the inside. So then on the outside, as of right now, it's Keely Ringo and Adoree Jackson battling out for that job. But I think, and the Goedert move in a way kind of signifies this. Like, the Eagles are going to, I know they haven't had a super exciting offseason yet. This Goedert move is probably the first like real exciting move for fans, but they will make trades if they think the guys in training camp are not getting the job done. They have, I think it's something like 12 draft picks in 2026 when you include compensatory picks. So it'll be Keely Ringo and Adoree battling it out. But if they get 2 weeks into training camp and Vic doesn't like what he sees, they will go out and make a trade because they certainly have the draft capital to do it.
I'm kind of curious. What do you think about Tyler Booker when he came out for the Dallas Cowboys and talked about how he can't wait to go up against Jalen Carter, and Jalen Carter's been
the guard.
The guard. Yeah.
I mean, I love it. I think if the Eagles drafted that player and he said he can't wait to go up against Micah Parsons, I think fans here would love it. He's a player I actually liked for the Eagles coming into this draft. You read about him in Alabama and just like the attitude he had, you can already see that. I think in my experience, like the best offensive linemen have personality. The ones I've covered that maybe don't have the best personality are kind of dull, like never seem to pan out. So I like that attitude from him. I would just maybe do a little be careful what you wish for, because Jalen Carter is pretty good, and as a rookie, I think that's a tough matchup for him.
Now, one more for you here, Elliot. I know you're a big fashion guy. Need you to grade Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, their looks at the Met Gala the other night. What did you think?
Yeah, so I would say Saquon's I was underwhelmed by. It was kind of basic. It wasn't like, I think at the Met Gala, you have to go and stand out and do something a little flashy. So I was expecting more from Saquon. I feel like he has more in the bag than he let out there. So little disappointed in just like the classic black tux that he wore. Jalen went a similar angle, I think. Like, he didn't exactly show up with, a piano on his back or whatever like some people did. But I like the diamonds on the blazer were a nice touch. The hat added a little something. Obviously, him and his wife looked fantastic together. I think that added to the whole kind of aura. But yeah, I mean, I've said on the station for a few months, like, I don't think the city appreciates what a massive star Jalen Hurts is. And I think him being at the Met Gala showed that.
What do you think about Hugh going to the Met Gala next year?
Yeah, I'm trying to make it happen.
I mean, look, here's what I would say about Hugh, which I would respect a lot about Hugh in this. I think people go to the Met Gala and try to conform to the Met Gala. I think Hugh would just wear what Hugh wants to wear, right? Like, I don't think Hugh is trying to impress people. Now, you might naturally, because you have, that natural swag about you. But I think you could pull it off. I think you'd be a popular guy.
I feel like he's not getting invited back, though, if he does that.
Yeah, I'm going to do. Yeah,
well, you only want to go once.
That's true.
You only want to go once.
I'll probably be in the theme of it. once I figure out what the theme is. But yeah,
You think you would go theme? Like, I picture you more just wearing what you want to wear.
Well, hopefully, because this theme, this was a pretty interesting thing. Once I went home and I kind of read about it, the dandyism, the dandy era, and how
is that what the theme was?
Yeah, it was like the zoot suits, the color combinations. Like black was the palette, but I like how a lot of the some of the individuals played off of the palette.
Well, I'll say this: if you do get an invite, I'm not going to ask you to bring me as your date, but like I will definitely help you if you would like.
Yeah,
some
my fashion sense,
exactly.
If we went together, people gonna talk. They're gonna be wondering.
That would be great, though. You two together at the Met Gala
if we're
would
gonna
be the perfect combination.
An interracial couple.
Well, look, Q, people talk about me anyway, so it's nothing
new.
We'll just get to go to the Met Gala together.
That's it.
Yeah, exactly right.
Just hang out. We can do that.
Well, there you go. Eliot Shorr-Parks, 94 WIP Eagles reporter. Eliot, thanks for hopping on, man.
Yep. Talk to you guys soon.
All right, so there was Eliot Shorr-Parks talking about the Eagles and Dallas Goedert situation.